You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others scroll, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday.
Haikuzo makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Mashamba yetu harambe.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake na Afrika itakwisha.
Padani agosho ngai no mwega na endesho de.
Wakati hiyo ilikuwa ukisema ngwe ndani ngwe.
The 2025 IMD World Competitiveness Ranking placed Kenya as the most competitive economy in Africa, reflecting the confidence our reforms have restored. Because we have restored stability, rebuilt investor confidence, and laid a firm foundation for our economy, now is the perfect opportunity for Kenya to begin shaping the next phase of our national development. Accordingly, on Wednesday, the 12th of August, 2026, we shall formally launch a national conversation on Kenya's future beyond Vision 2030, the most consequential exercise in national reflection and public participation since the promulgation of our Constitution in 2010. We have stabilized our currency. We have rebuilt our foreign exchange reserves to over $15 billion, providing 6.5 months of import cover. Inflation has fallen. Borrowing costs have declined. Investor confidence has returned. Last year, for example, Kenya attracted a record $3.2 billion in foreign direct investment, more than double the amount recorded in 2022. The 2025 IMD World Competitiveness Ranking placed Kenya as the most competitive economy in Africa, reflecting the confidence our reforms have restored. Because we have restored stability, rebuilt investor confidence, and laid a firm foundation for our economy, now is the perfect opportunity for Kenya to begin shaping the next phase of our national development.
The Kenyans are worse off. We have listened to President Ruto this evening. I don't know what impression you got yourselves. Me, I thought this was an inaugural speech that President Ruto was giving soon after his election. Because he's telling us that he wants us to have a national conversation on the development charter that we need to have. As he just realized that projects that he has undertaken Anybody can build them. It's a question of priorities. A stadium without the development of Kenyan athletes, a stadium without the development of Kenyan footballers is just a monument which doesn't help us.
Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Ruto and this is Political Headache, coming to you at 7:30 in the evening from the City of Glasses. I have in the studio amazing people. So, people of the internet, we had a conversation with the high-flying Sifuna on TV, on Citizen TV, some 3 days ago, and there was a lot of talk that he did not do well, and a lot of people were agreeing. In fact, Linda Mwananchi bloggers had to come out and fiercely defend their party leader. But then a few days later, we had the president yesterday in the evening speaking from State House. And as he started speaking, there was already a backlash. And people were not understanding what exactly is the president going to say in the next 20 minutes after having spoken for 20 minutes. So it was very concerning to a lot of people. Political Headache was very, very, very angry. The town hall, the comment section was very, very angry. We had a lot of government apologies calling in and sending text messages and saying that, Jagero, you cannot have a panel that only has opposition apologists. And therefore, we had a phone call from Ambassador Kachola, who was extremely agitated at what was going on, especially at Safina Party SG, Mr. Joachim Simeu, who is also here today. I have Professor, who is also here, right? And Mr. Ogola is going to be talking to us about these issues. So I don't know where Ogola does not like the government very much. We have Joachim, who is who doesn't like the government but likes Wamunyoro, same thing. Then we have Kachola. Professor, thank you very much for joining us. But I want to give it to Kachola because I want to start this conversation by saying, okay, what was the president supposed to be saying yesterday, and what was the hurry in not waiting for 4 days in order to give us the meat that he wanted to speak about? So Kachola, you and Odhiambo were very unhappy yesterday. But then, tell us, what was the butter and the bread in the presidential address yesterday?
It is not about me being unhappy.
Okay.
Kenyans were very unhappy.
All right.
With Political Headache yesterday.
Okay.
And you could see it. Jagero, what the president did yesterday will go into the annals of history in this country as one of the most monumental moments for this country. For the first time, the president, and actually for the second time, the president was calling Kenyans, come, let's reason together as we chart a way forward for our country. In what terms? In the essence of vision for our nation. What kind of vision? It's a vision that the people of this country want for themselves. It's a desired nation that they want to see. That is what the president was doing. He's calling the people to the table so that we can chart this way forward together as one. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Joachim, a lot of people, many government officials were very unhappy with you specifically because you could not even allow this gentleman to speak yesterday. What was the problem?
You see, I have spoken severally and said that William Ruto cannot be part of the discussion of the future. And let me paint a picture from how I have looked at the speech, and you sent me the speech. And so I took my time to go through it and establish my reasons as to why I was against it, and I still am against it. He begins by highlighting inheriting of a bad economy, talking about inflation rates at the time of he was inheriting the economy, talking about dollar reserves, etc. So he's talking about how he has catapulted things into progress. But if what we have is anything to go by, he wants the vision to be managed by the person he inherited the economy from. So if you inherited a bad economy from someone, but you still want him to be the leader of a vision into prosperity in the future, does that really make any sense? And another thing, William Ruto cannot be part of a solution We offered this olive branch earlier in his administration. In 2023, we were actually walking on the streets and telling him that, okay, can the government at least listen to us? That's the conclave we had at the time. He adamantly refused to listen to us. He railroaded his ideas that were not working. And we were seeing that these ones will not work. He gave the Kenyan people, his employers, a deaf ear and a blind eye. Today when it's too late, wakati yamemfika yaliyomfika Mtemi na Saba Bora, sasa yeye ndiye anataka kutokea, maji ya kooni yameshamfika. Yeye, there is only one way out for him to go. Right now, the vision that Kenyans have is a vision of Ruto must go. We have called ourselves to a conclave, and we have decided now for Kenya to stand a chance of dreaming big and achieving its dreams. There's a stumbling block that has to be done away with. And this stumbling block is masquerading as a solution to the very dream that we are trying to achieve, and he is curtailing us. So yesterday I had a problem, and I still have a problem, and I still emphasize that the more you try to explain what the president said, the more it becomes hollow. Because if we are actually here for a second time trying to make sense of what he said, don't you see that as a dire situation? So I tell President Ruto, we will have this conclave after he's gone, not with him.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to turn to Professor. Professor, what did you expect? What was good about the speech that the president gave yesterday?
What did I expect? What was good?
Yeah.
And also you said earlier that I don't like the government.
Yeah.
Let me put it clearly. That first of all, we go back to the...
You can come closer to the mic a little
bit. To the founding fathers of the nation.
Yeah.
We have a government of Kenya, not government of anybody. So that government of Kenya, GOK.
Okay.
So first of all, we love the government for being GOK, but not for how it is being run. I do not like the administration, not because of anything, but because I said earlier that it's grossly incompetent and grossly corrupt. And for those many reasons, there is no need of giving a vision to a corrupt person.
Okay.
There is no need of even the corrupt person selling us a vision. I don't know whether you can hear murderers selling their vision on how they can further life.
Okay.
People who are doing abortion every day, telling you how they want to take care of the fetus. You understand? These people have murdered people. These people have murdered the economy. These people have killed the Kenyan future, and therefore they should not be part of the problem. Albert Einstein, who is one of the most respected minds in the world, says you cannot solve a problem with the same tools that have created it.
Okay. Yes.
And Ruto is at the heart of it. From the very beginning, from Nyayo J's Youth for Kano 92, how he came all the way to become deputy president, and now he's president. He is one of the most important lasting tools we have currently.
Okay.
The longest serving person in this government who has been part of that one from the very beginning. Tell me who is the longest serving person in this current government, if not William Ruto. And that person now wakes up at the end, they have a new vision because they are seeing that they're under pressure. So that's my first comment.
Okay.
My second comment is that Ruto's vision is based on wrong ideologies. And why I'm trying to say that is that, Jagero, if we want to go to Mombasa, we cannot use the map that goes to Somalia.
Okay.
And the foundation of what he's talking about, the economic charter, does it mean he has thrown away the bottom-up economic model? He has to tell, because for me, I was asking, has he forgotten now he's about the new economic charter? Have we now thrown away the plan? Have we now thrown away the bottom-up? And Jagera, I'll come there not because I'm bitter.
Okay.
When I was a professor in Strathmore,
okay,
when they launched the bottom-up economic model, I was live on TV and I said that bottom-up economic model has never worked anywhere.
Okay.
Works nowhere. Will not work in Kenya.
But what is it? What is a bottom-up economic model for people who are trying to understand
whatever
what exactly it means?
It is not an economic model.
Okay.
Because it's published by who? You understand?
Okay.
Neoclassical economic models is published by a scholar. A published economic model called Solomonic Economics, which has been read, is published. Which author or which publisher has published economic model called bottom-up? It doesn't exist. So when I say
so probably you don't think that it belongs to one of those models that you're talking about?
It doesn't, because this model came from Joe Biden.
Okay.
When I was working at European Central Bank, and we explained to Joe Biden why we cannot even finance it, because it does not meet the merits of a model. So when I said that, they got angry with me. That's why I lost my job in Stratton. Now, when he was reading yesterday, I was saying, now, if I told you in 2022 that these things cannot work, now you are abandoning it for a new charter, but I've lost my job.
But has he really abandoned it?
No, but let me tell you, he's saying now we have to come with a new thing, people have to conversation. Is it not abandonment?
I see what you mean.
It has, the statement means I was wrong. Whatever I was doing was wrong. Let's throw it aside. Let me call Kenyans to a meeting. He talk about a national dialogue, isn't it?
Yes.
Starting on 12. Are we discussing bottom-up or something new?
Okay.
He has appointed two new professors to champion it.
Joachim, had you looked at it like that?
So because of that, it's a new thing. So I'm asking Mr. President.
Let him learn, because I'm coming to you directly next.
I'm asking Mr. President.
Okay.
Come out clearly and tell us that you have agreed you are wrong from day one with your bottom-up economic model, that the plan was not the plan, isn't it?
Okay.
It was your plan, not Kenyan plan, and now you are thinking new. Before you go there, you must apologize to Kenyans that you took us back to Misri when we were on our way to Canaan.
Okay.
And that bottom-up, the plan was detouring us from reaching Canaan, and Baba died without seeing Canaan just because he detoured us to this desert, which now we discover is a desert. Now you want to come with economic charter. Then lastly, we have what we call Vision 2030. Okay. It's still working. Now he says he wants to do beyond 2030 to 2060, isn't it? And then I can tell you, and the Bible can hold me right, Okay. William Ruto must go home first, because even in the Bible, God told David, your hands are tainted with blood.
All right.
You cannot build me a temple. So your son Solomon will build the temple. So I'm asking all Kenyans to come together.
All right.
During that convention, let also be root by saying, are you one remaining to oversee this plan, or you are going to preside over that plan, then go home. Then somebody who is more competent, not corrupt, execute the plan, just like David collected all the money in Israel and handed over to the son Solomon to build the temple.
I want to ask you one last question before you go. When you say that Ruto has to go and give room, who is your chosen man in 2027? Do you have somebody?
Solomon.
Who is Solomon?
That Solomon Kenyans will decide.
All right.
And at the moment, we get rid of David, or if you like, the devil, isn't it? And when you remove the devil, anything else is good.
Yeah.
Whether it's an angel, whether you have people closer, friends of the devil.
All right.
But the moment first, we have to say Shatani Ashindwe, not Shatani.
But Professor, you are somebody who is learned, who understands the anatomy of this country, who understand how it should work. When you look at all these people that want to be president, one of your sons, young man, a teenager, is asking you, Prof, give me a sign.
Yes.
What is the sign?
You know that I'm the LDP presidential candidate.
Okay, all right.
And at the moment, even if you look at the guys like Sifunas, the rest, the opposition, including these other guys, there's a problem with them also.
All right.
They are ideological nihilists. They haven't come out with a clear...
What does that mean in English?
They have no economic ideology on how to address the Kenyan problem, which according to me, in my own rallying, is called Ogola 27, which the silver bullet. I want to be known as the professor with the silver bullet.
All right.
Which is to create 100,000 jobs per county.
100,000 jobs per county. So multiply that. 100,000 jobs.
4.7 million jobs nationally.
In 5 years?
Not in 5 years.
Okay.
That can be done as soon as someone takes office, because we have economic prototype.
All right.
Prototype. Prototype is like a phone, like this iPad.
Okay.
If you want to print an iPad, you just pass through a printer and you have it.
Okay.
So the prototype is there.
All right.
So I can say, for example, you talk about Sifuna in the beginning. Sifuna said something that shows that he has not understood what economics is.
Okay.
But Sifuna is a good man though. But he said that when he become president and Kenyans are giving him 10 bob,
he's good but ignorant.
He will give Kenyans 10 shillings lower on fuel. Isn't it? As an economist, that's an economic misnomer. What should not go down are the price of goods. What should go up are income. Because if you land in Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, a taxi from the airport to the city is 120 euros. That's around 18,000 Kenya shillings. But for me today, when I came from the airport, I was bargaining over 1,200, 1,300, and I find it's expensive. What is the difference? The income level in Paris is higher. The income level in Kenya is lower. We can't afford. Because if you lower the price of bread to 5 shillings where you bought when you were young, farmers will suffer. Distributors will suffer. Packagers, millers, everybody.
So Sifuna on that front.
Yeah. So Linda Mwananchi needs to set up an economic arm of it, even with opposition, that will champion the economic ideal, so that don't take us again to bottom up.
All right. I want to go to the bottom. So the whole idea of 2030, Kenya wanted to stop being a poor country by 2030. The method was grow the economy by 10% a year, every year for about 2 decades. The same trick Southeast Asian countries pulled off between 1960s and 1990s. To make that grow stick, the country also had to fix its social services and clean up its politics. So the plan was to build on 3 legs called pillars, right? The economic, get rich, social, share it fairly, political, govern properly. Everything else in the document is detail hanging off the 3. So, your president, His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, started us with the bottom-up economy, which Professor saying has strayed completely away from Vision 2030. Do you agree?
Jagero, I thank you for calling Prof here.
Yeah.
Because we wish or hope that he will use this not as a political podium, but more of a classroom, so that Kenyans benefit. It's very hard to earn that title, Prof. So having earned it, we expect that he will use it appropriately and accordingly, so that Kenyans can also learn, because we are here to learn and also. Now, I think first we need to define and understand what a vision is. Yes, what is a vision? A vision is simply a desired future by a nation, by a people, and it has to be long term.
All right.
And we know that.
So when we started it, our long term was 30. By 2030.
It was 30 years. And therefore, it is important to note that whatever every other administration has been doing, either there are some that have done it towards the goal of 2030, or some have steered off. But I want to agree with all of us that what we have done as a country, majorly, has been guided. Our manifestos, as various political formations, have been guided by what? By Vision 2030. As you did mention, it was anchored on 3 major pillars. One pillar was social, another pillar was economical, another pillar was political. So if we begin by social, share it equitably. Have we tried to share it equitably? We have tried. We have not yet shared it equitably. That we have to agree. How have we shared it? Through the county government formation, we have at least distributed resources down to the people in a manner that, though not satisfactorily as envisioned by the Constitution, but at least we are towards that particular particular path. Let me also state that Prof has mentioned that the government is incompetent and corrupt.
Grossly.
Now, when we talk of corruption, since 2022 to date, how much has been recovered from corruption? How much has been recovered by the EACC, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission? They have recovered at least 9.6 billion
Okay.
Kenyan shillings.
All right.
In assets and in cash.
All right.
That is an effort towards mitigating this problem.
What have we lost? Do you know?
I don't know what we've lost.
For example, in SHA, we lost. For example, in SHA, we lost 11 billion.
We
Not
agreed,
11.
Jagero, we agreed.
50.
We agreed that at least people will be had
If you
in,
don't know,
in
can I
some
give you all
level
the
of
figures
silence. No, just
if you don't know, then it's important I give you the figures.
Prof, I want you to be prof.
No, let me give you the
No,
figures
just
first, then
you have to be
I
prof.
only want to give the figures.
No, just
So you don't know the figures.
when you are talking,
Gagero,
I gave you
he
time.
doesn't want the figures, right?
I gave you
So
time while you are talking.
Speak
Please
out of
just,
the
just give me time.
Umesema
I speak.
11 billion.
Yeah,
Now.
9.6.
9.6 billion.
Now, already EACC is pursuing, at least in the record, of 69 billion. Pursuing.
Okay.
Hopefully, we want to hope, because they're funded by taxpayers' money, that they will recover these monies. As far as incompetence is concerned,
He's talked about incompetence. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what parameters is used to define incompetency. Whereas, at least for the first time, we can see a country that is geared towards easy mobility, a country that is geared towards food security, a country that is geared towards making lives better for the people. I think it is also honorable enough that when we face Kenyans and discuss with them, more so the matter of vision, and when he said that this is President Ruto's vision, no, it is not President Ruto's vision. It is not Jagero's vision. It's Kenya's vision. How is it Kenya's vision? The president cannot and shall not sit in a room and draft a vision for Kenya. He is calling on Kenyans, based on the report he was given by that team of Professor Nyong'o, he is telling Kenyans, we need now to come together as a nation and chart a way forward. President Ruto may not be there.
Can I ask you a question?
Just a moment. Moving into the near future, we must recognize that for sure, it is not an individual's, it is not a political party's, it is not a president's vision, it is Kenya's vision.
Professor has said that when Ruto was going around the country talking about the bottom-up economy, it sounded like a plan that was going to meet the 2030 vision. So now that he has gathered us again to talk about the country going forward, how does this tie to his own bottom-up economy?
Because Vision 2030, Jagero, is coming to an end by 31st of December 2029. So when it comes to an end, should we wait till that date when it comes to an end, then we again regroup and think of the future? Or should we at least begin to converse so that in the next 3 years we can have this conversation, chart a way forward, and say this is the direction. At the collapse of this, where did we reach so far with this particular one, which is Vision 2030, and for how long must we give ourselves time to achieve the next one? Can it be Vision 2060? Can it be Vision 2070 or 80? That is for Kenyans to decide, because it is their vision. It is not the president's vision.
All right. I want to go to Joachim, but before that, I want to go through the 10 foundations that we needed to have had with the. Because we are talking about the microeconomic stability. Mr. Joachim.
Yes.
We were supposed to keep inflation, deficits, interest rates, and exchange rate steady, because every vision project must pass this test first. Number two, the governance and reforms deepen anti-corruption program. He has said that government has recovered 10 billion, but in the same vein, we lost 11 billion in SHA. More than that, actually. We had to have better investigation and prosecution, less discretionary decision-making by officials, legal and judicial reform, Then, equity for the poor. Equity treated as a running principle. We had to have infrastructure, roads, rails, ports, airports, sanitation and telecoms. Then the energy, generate more power at lower cost. I don't know whether that is happening. Science and technology. I was listening to a story and I was shocked that about 10 years ago, there is a government it was being discussed actually at Spice today by that other professor, Professor Koth. And he was saying that they went to Japan to benchmark. And they were given very, very good loan to set up science, technology, and innovation. And he was saying that up to date, that Kenya has started paying for that money, and not even a single graduate has come from that school. And then we had the land reform, national land use policy, we had human resources, security, and public service. But now I want to ask you, Joachim, when you look at what Ruto was promising Kenyans, you know, if you put it side by side by Vision 2030, do you think it was making sense
at the time? Okay. One of the reasons why I did not support President Ruto in 2022, one of the biggest reasons is that I didn't believe him.
Okay.
So before he even tells me anything, I'm like, whatever you're telling me, I do not think it's going to happen.
Why?
Because he's been part of things that failed to happen for a very long time. The first time we had a very big scandal for the grain of maize is when he was Minister for Agriculture.
Yeah.
The first time we had a meaningful scandal in higher education, TVETs, is when President Ruto was Minister for Higher Education.
Okay.
The first time we had a very attention to the office of the Deputy President when it comes to management of government resources is when President Ruto was Deputy President. So I couldn't bring myself to understand and believe that whatever he was bringing on the table could actually be actualized.
Okay.
So these things, like you have talked about, the generation of power at a lower rate, and science and technology. And you've mentioned that these people were given a loan to actually come and bring up this development project. But we are paying it using our taxes, and there is no project in sight. And this maneno ya equity for the poor, generation of power at lower rates. I have always told you that our cumulative power generation per annum is 2,400 megawatts. Our consumption is over 3,000. So we are doing importation of power. So with this goal of generation of power at lower rates, we are still lagging behind. In your point of the government being able to recover 9 billion, I wonder where they recovered it from. Which sector? Because for you to be able to say that you are stopping corruption and hemorrhage of revenue, you have to quantify the amount you are looking for in which sector, and how do you achieve that goal. For example, I have just told you the report by the Auditor General is that the last time we discussed that report, I don't know, cumulatively Shah had lost 50 billion. So with that alone, even if the government recovered 9 billion, it's still a drop in the ocean. We had a 6.5 billion edible oil scandal. You remember it? We had the Auditor General coming out with a report that 1.3 trillion had been illegally withdrawn from the consolidated fund. That's a report that came from the Auditor General, and that's a report that made the president to call the Auditor General and the control of budget corrupt people. Actually, the most noisy member of parliament at the time of discussing that report was Junet Mohammed. So with all these monies that we are mentioning, we have not mentioned e-citizen. So we have, the system is porous. We have several areas where there is revenue leakage. And we have not actually quantified the amount of money we have set out to recover from which sectors and after how long. So when you tell me that ESCC is going to recover some 69 billion, my first question is, the other day when they arrested Analo here in Nairobi, it was said that he had 65 million in his house. Do you hear that case? No one knows what is happening. The case about MD Joe Sang, and cumulatively the three of them the government was able to collect 500 million from their houses. The media reported that orders from above came to the police that the money should be taken to where the orders are coming from. So you have no exhibit to present in court that there was theft of money. The police station where MD Josang was held after being arrested was degazetted. So even the charge sheet prepared in that police station, it is how do we call it? It's incompetent in a court of law. So that case also fell flat on the surface. These are small snippets that show the people whether the big vision can be achieved or not. So our lack of trust in achieving of this vision that the president is welcoming us to, all of a sudden he realizes that a conclave with a country is very important. We are not ready to do that. That the Kenyans have a vision. It's not that we don't have. Every Kenyan, when you ask him, where do you think you should be in 50 years? They will tell you. But we cannot have that vision discussed by William Ruto, because he has played a very pivotal role in bringing us to where we are. He has helped create this problem. And just as Prof said, you cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created that problem. Therefore, we are saying respectively that, Mr. President, your legitimacy as president is wanting. The people of Kenya, especially the young people of Kenya, casted their vote of confidence to your government in 2024 when they went to parliament. You therefore have to face a re-election in 2027. If you win, you now have the legitimacy to come and welcome us to a conclave. Before that, our only achievement, our only agenda is that let us imagine a new Kenya post the presidency of William Samoei.
Prof, I want to come back to you and ask you this question, because I think that in the first thing that we realized out of the 2030 constitution, 2030 vision, is actually the constitution of 2010.
Yeah.
But as an economist, what should have happened once Ruto and Uhuru got this document of 2030? There is a conversation that he has with the CEO of Equity Bank. You have that conversation. There is Uhuru's video there. You have it? You can play it. Then we can allow Professor to go ahead and say something.
My administration is vigorously implementing Kenya's economic blueprint, our Vision 2030, whose current phase, the third medium-term plan, is prioritized as the Big Four agenda. And the agenda focuses on a decent roof over many more heads at affordable costs, affordable health care for all, food and nutrition security for all Kenyans, and job creation and economic growth through manufacturing. The Big Four agenda is crafted to accelerate the realization of the overriding objective of Vision 2030, which is to transform Kenya into a newly industrializing middle-income country, providing a higher quality of life to all her citizens by 2030 in a clean and secure environment. Fellow Kenyans, as I stated in the beginning, our most valuable asset is our human resource. But for this resource to contribute effectively to our development agenda, its health is paramount. It goes without saying, a sickly society cannot expect to realize its development potential to the full. And this is what has informed my administration in identifying universal health care as one of the pillars of our Big Four.
Very, very briefly, Vision 2030 was the first attempt to do long-term planning, development planning for this country. what you had was what you call episodic efforts. You have poverty reduction strategy, you have something else strategy. So under the government of His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki, this was the first time government said, okay, can we take a long-term view of things and plan and develop, start thinking long-term, not just in cycles of 5 years, the electoral cycle. So what was called the National Economic and Social Council was a precursor. It is full of wonks, all the brains you can find in this country were and still there. And that's when they decided, let's plan long-term for this country, so that all the efforts, we collect taxpayers' shillings every year, and then the taxpayers' shillings get dissipated in various ways. A lot of the times you find that there's silo mentality in government. So Ndu is doing X, Eric is doing Y, Ken is doing Z. And then the net effect is not times 3, it is divided by 3. Because your efforts and his efforts and my efforts are not coordinated. So this was, I would think it was a seminal change. It's very good to think long-term and to plan long-term, because that guides what you do working backwards. So the development plan, Kenya Vision 2030, was around 2008, it was mooted. 2009, Kenya Gazette notice was passed. And we survived by Kenya Gazette notice until today. Haven't done an act of parliament. Maybe we'll get to that before I leave office, hopefully. The genius of this plan, and I use that word advisedly, is because Vision 2030, as conceptualized, is implemented in 5-year medium-term plans. And they coincide with the electoral cycle. So, for example, the first MTP, medium-term plan 1, was 2008-2012. And the biggest achievement there, of course, was the enactment of the new constitution. More about which we'll talk later. MTP 2 came in 2013 to 2017. Medium-term plan 2. That was the Kenyatta 1 administration, Jubilee administration. And then we are currently now in MTP 3, medium-term plan 3, which is running from 2018 to 2022. So what happens is that the vision is implemented in cycles of 5 years. So, and this is the genius of it, is because it's aligned to the electoral process as well. So that you don't find a new government coming in and saying, what's all this nonsense? We don't want it. We want to do something different. So it's aligned to the electoral cycle, so that an incoming administration picks up from where the last one left off. They can emphasize particular things, like happened in MTP3. In this current administration, the Jubilee administration, this last 5 years, and the MTP3, decided to focus on 4 issues, the big 4. The big 4 is an extract from Kenya Vision 2030. It just says we want to concentrate on these 4 things. But everything is driving towards the overall vision.
Sure. Professor, I don't know if you agree, but I think that the guys that put this thing together were very specific on what needed to have been done. Because they are targeting the new constitution between 2008 and 2012, which happens to Kibaki. But then the bulk of this thing is left for Ruto and Uhuru to actually execute. Because they started at 2013 to 2017. And then they are told that the third one will be between 2018 to 2022. So by the time Ruto is getting into presidency, they should have dealt with the first 3, properly. And then now, Ruto is actually supposed to, in fact, Ruto falls within everything.
I told you earlier.
Ruto falls within the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Yes.
They are wanataka kuchukua serikali in 2012, they start campaigning, they have the constitution as the first block.
Yes.
And they are told, okay, when you take the reins of this country, you actually have to accomplish this thing within 2030. Because by now, Ruto is only remaining with 3 years. He was there in 2013 as a vice president. He's there in 2018 as a vice president, all the way to 2022. He becomes president. He actually has got 4 years to finish.
So, Jagero,
yes.
Let me tell you, first of all, the Vision 2030 had got its own goodness and its own badness. And there were some other things, as some of us, we contributed to Vision 2030. Especially when Kibaki was president, were some of the secret economic advisors. That's why they see the day Kibaki was being given a state funeral in Nyayo, I was called by Francis Mudaura and forced to be on KBC from around 8 up to 4 p.m. Because they wanted to know someone who understood the Kibaki, the economist. And why we went wrong what my brother Mwege is saying there, where we went wrong was the first thing. Who fired the Social and Economic Council that was to oversee Vision 2030? And then it was now sitting under ministries. That's why it went wrong.
Okay, can you contextualize that a little bit?
There was a Social and Economic Council which was in charge of the formulation, implementation and oversight of Vision 2030.
Okay.
Where is it? Who are the members? They are gone. So it was not supposed to be that under the presidency he does at will. There was supposed to be somebody looking at how it's being implemented. Just like you see, there was even the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution, which was headed by Nyachai. Even this was supposed to be a Social and Economic Council in overseeing and foreseeing the implementation of the Vision 2030. So who killed it? It is Ruto that removed those people from office. They're no longer there. Who sits in that commission?
What was the reason for removing them?
We just wake up at night and find that there's no watchman at the gate. You find you have seen these things happen somewhere, isn't it? So that Kenyans just woke up and found they are not there. So because they are not there, now who is overseeing it? There is the CEO of Vision 2030, but the CEO was supposed to report to. Then they say that the CEO should be interministerial committees which are overseeing it. In fact, Vision 2030 was having power to call even all the PSS and CSS to a meeting. Now they can't. I was even training Vision 2030 in Strathmore around it. And the CEO told me, my brother, we can't call these people anymore. They are more powerful. We call it, how can a CEO say they are too busy to report to the CEO of Vision 2030? When the Vision 2030 was interministerial. Understand? Let me just take you a little bit to this history because it's important. When Moi was the president, any state corporation used to do their strategic plan without any mother document to refer to. So agriculture could do what they want, different from the roads, different from finance, different from housing. But Vision 2030 gave Kenya around one game plan that was being referenced by all ministries, all state corporations to refer to that document. And that's why now it was aligned. When you talk about how much road do you want to construct in these 5 years, it must be commensurate to how much fuel Kenyans consumes. And also must be commensurate to how much jobs are being created in agriculture. And it must be commensurate to education ministry that is giving the human capital needed. That was a game plan that Kenya needed. But these two people abandoned that plan together. Whether it's Ruto who told Uhuru to abandon, or Uhuru told Ruto to abandon, or they agreed to abandon, that story they only know because we were not with them. That's the can answer somewhere. God in heaven will make them answer. But when you come how to this thing went wrong, it had a problem also. You hear they are saying that GDP was supposed to grow at an average of 10% every year to become middle income economy. But Vision 2030 failed to distinguish two things. There's what you call economic growth and economic development. Economic growth is how much we collect in terms of revenue measured in GDP. And my grandmother do not care about GDP. My grandmother in village in Ogenya cares about household expenditure. Economic growth is how GDP grows and revenue grows, which is done by KRA. Economic development means after you collect this money, where do you take the money? You take money to education, so education outcome, like for example, transition from primary to secondary to university and the rest. Second, food security. Third, healthcare access. So these people have been collecting the money. GDP has been growing very well, but where does the money go? That's why I say, Jagero, that Kenyan problem is not a revenue problem. It's not an income problem. Kenyan problem is corruption. And I go back and give my brother now Ambassador the numbers because he said he didn't have them. Under Kenyatta Senior, we lost 250 billion shillings to corruption.
Kenyatta Senior is the
president,
the founding father.
Yes, I took a petition to the Senate, handed over to Dan Manzo. It is in the Senate, so it's an official document. I did research case by case, 250 billion. Under Moi, which was 24 years, we lost 1.2 trillion to corruption. Under Kibaki, we lost 610 billion to corruption. Under Kenyatta, President Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta, now Kenyatta Jr., we lost 608 billion to corruption. Now, under the current president, he was now stealing with his spade, not with his spoon. We've lost 3.7 trillion to corruption.
Whose regime?
Under Ruto. These very few years. Because those numbers...
How do you arrive? I'm interested in how you arrive at the 3 trillion.
That document, I'll give it to you, read it.
No, but why don't you summarize it for me? How?
You see, look here. Under Uhuru, we said we were losing 2 billion shillings to corruption. That figure is there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then under Ruto, we are told we are now losing, the corruption has doubled. So it's 4 billion per day, isn't it? Do those arithmetic, it reaches that figure. Because the numbers don't lie. So after that, I go back again to the budget. The current budget we have is 4.82 trillion, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if we are losing 4 billion per day to corruption, and we collect 9 billion per day in revenue, which means that 40%, over 40% of our revenue, of our taxes, the revenue we generate, of our budget goes to corruption. So 2.16 trillion in this budget is budgeted corruption. So the hole in which this guy is taking us, we should not even listen to a vision going forward. So those are the figures, the official figures in a Senate paper signed by me, and I can defend in court. You get me? So if you talk about EACC, let me give in some figures in EACC.
Okay.
EACC was set up by the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which was according to Vision 2030 to rectify corruption.
Okay.
Because that was a problem. Now, Jagero, do you know that EACC receives a budget per year, which is 5.8 billion per year to kill corruption, isn't it? So for
that is the budget.
Yes, they receive actually 3.8, and do those maths. 3.8 times 15, isn't it? Is 58.5 billion, and they have recovered only 18 billion in those years. So we are getting a loss here. The day I'll ever be in charge of this country, I'll shut down EACC without thinking. Because how can you be generating...
Okay, if you shut down EACC, how do you then deal with corruption?
In Singapore, there's no EACC. In Korea, there's no CSC. You steal money, you go to central police. You get arrested like someone has stolen a chicken. There's a process. Because in this, do you know why State House is only 200 meters from EACC?
Okay, no, I don't.
Because EACC is a washing machine that washes everybody. Anybody who has stolen goes there, sitting in a sofa set, taking tea, being interviewed with good cameras, while people who are innocent in Kenya are in Central. I've served in Central 18 times because I just said something that the president did not like.
You've been there 18 times?
18 times, yes. I've been Central, Joachim knows, severally. While people who have stolen billions of shillings drive into EACC with the high-end vehicles, isn't it? Receive reception, open doors rolling for them, they enter in a holding room, they sign visitors look there being asked, so what did you steal? Yet a young boy who didn't steal anything is shot with a bullet. Why do we need EACC for the people who are good? EACC were meant for the rich. Have you seen a poor man going to EACC? Have you seen a poor man who has gone to EACC being interviewed?
I want to ask Kachola.
So, tell Jagero, ask this question clearly.
Okay.
Would you run EACC with 58.5 billion that you put in it?
Yeah.
It only recovers, not even generating, recovering 28 billion out of 58 billion. And then the amount of money to corruption now.
But how do you shut it down and it's baked in law?
EACC is a small screen. It's a washing machine. Do you know why? All elected officials pass through EACC. MCAs are passed by EACC. MPs, governors, senators, deputy president, and they're the same thieves after being cleared by EACC. That's still from you. EACC is your worst enemy because it has been put there as a small screen to make you think something's happening. There's nothing going on apart from theft. Then EACC commissioners have evidence. They get tenders from parastatals which are corrupt so that they don't go after them. Like now, if there's a tender in Kenya, there's a commission to begin a certain road for around 300 million. They will not follow any corrupt cases. So they are also having their hands in the tenders. Even in KCC, all the parastatals, they get tenders. This is something I can defend. You get me? So what I'm trying to say here is that without EACC, Kenya can go far. Tell me in Singapore there we talk about which is the EACC. Which is the EACC of Japan? Tell me the equivalence. When you tell me those figures, I'll tell you that we need it. We don't need it. It is just an expenditure which is also distracting us from the truth. Then I'll end with the president's statement. I was speaking of Joachim. This thing he's talking about, the National Charter, is a distraction from the real conversation. We should be I'm telling Kenya, let's come together and concentrate on how Ruto can have Ruto 1 at worst. At worst, let us have Ruto 1. Go home and reflect for 5 years so that actually we can shake it. Even if you ask me, we don't have the best person to rule this country, let us shake the system. Because this man is the virus in the system. From Youth for Can 92, you know when a virus has entered your body, there's HIV virus in your body. Whatever you do, whether you change the blood, you can't change the whole blood. You'll just change a little bit, but the virus is there. So the virus that entered here in 1992 is the virus that is carrying us here, and the same virus is telling us now he wants to take us to, I don't know, to a promised land. And incompetence, let me put it clearly. The president has said he's taking us to first world, Jagero, isn't it? As an economist, there's nothing like first world. There's no economical term called first world. First world came during the Cold War, when we had USSR and USA. USA was first world because they were opposed to the communism of the USSR. So any country that opposed first and second world was third world. So even Singapore was third world because they didn't align with the US or USSR. Japan was third world. Korea was third world. When I hear a president speaking something which is racist, or I call it racist statement like first world, is a misnomer. We should talk about world class. Kenya should be world class, not third world or first world. We are not third world. Third world was economic sabotage that was used by the colonial masters to bend other nations.
In finishing, so that I go to the gentleman.
When I finish, I'm simply the incompetence of the president is so huge that cannot chart that direction. We need a Solomonic moment in Kenya. And that won't come with somebody who is in office and still telling us what he wants to do, yet he should be doing it. In this 1.5 years remaining, should we be deliberating on what he wants to do or what he has to do?
Mr. Kachola, you're a lover of this government. Should I pass you because Ukwilim Tupusio? Should I pass you?
You know, it's interesting that when Professor Gola says, even if we don't have someone suitable to run the country, he has said he wants to run for president. And he's already doubting himself because he's saying, even if we don't have
the worst case scenario.
Now,
remove the devil, anything else is good.
You know, that is the worst misnomer that we would get ourselves into. But now, I want to respond to a few things. One, he says President Ruto is a virus. At least that virus has ensured that there are markets countrywide. That virus, the ESP markets, at least
that is the work of the president.
Wait,
to be a virus.
You said. We agreed that at least people to be heard in total silence, and the fact that we have a professor.
I interjected him and asked him questions.
You did not.
I did.
No, you did not.
No. I interjected this gentleman almost 4 times when he was speaking.
Interject.
No. Just now, you see, I love decorum.
No.
Myself.
But I am asking you. I'm asking you a question that the market is not the work of the president.
No, let me proceed.
You must proceed.
Yes, thank you. That president, he calls the virus, has ensured that our economy, and he acknowledges that our GDP is growing very well.
So what is GDP?
You see, now, that very virus is saying has ensured that at least we have what we call elimination of corruption through digitizing government services. We all agree and acknowledge that one of the worst areas that we've had corruption in this country is in government services. Whereas you have to travel from up country to get services in Nairobi, in any other city near you. But now, over the years, this has been the case. What has the government done? You can now get services over 25,000.
Has corruption been eliminated? He said that he has eliminated corruption. Is that the case?
Government services already digitized. So from the comfort of your home or your office, you can easily get 25,000 up from only there were 300.
Which government is this you're talking about?
This one. Just go to
digitization started with Kibaki long time ago.
There were only 350.
Okay.
Up to when President Ruto was coming in.
So
now there are 25,000.
Who left it at what?
When e-citizen was a way to make money by the president from e-citizen, and we have lost money from e-citizen. I don't understand how this
he has alleged
eliminated corruption.
There are monies that have been lost. To who alleges must do what? Must prove.
Okay.
I don't know why, if truly Kenya has lost the billions he's mentioned from that time, why this goes to Senate. I think some of the people, like for example President Uhuru Kenyatta, those who served in President Kibaki's tenure are still alive. Why don't we have these cases taken to the relevant bodies for at least we have people prosecuted? Jagero, I think we must agree as a nation, when they talk about power, and that power is an issue, that has been acknowledged. We all acknowledge, and the president did acknowledge, and he made it clear when he was talking about data center, establishing a data center in Kenya. And after briefing, he was told that we cannot have data center in Kenya. Reason? Because we do not have enough power. Therefore, what do? This government has ensured that at least now we are on a path towards having our what? Nuclear power plant. So that actually in this very budget there was 80 million Kenyan shillings. Just check.
I'm
80
wondering.
million Kenyan shillings that was allocated for for the siting.
We cannot manage 3,000 megawatts.
Data center.
So what?
80 million can set a data center.
80 million
can set a nuclear plant.
Plant siting. So plants
let me ask.
You
that money has gone.
Because this will
How much is this for siting?
Ambassador,
we
cannot handle. We are not yet at 3,000 megawatts.
So moving forward, the government
a little bit.
To ensure.
I understand your struggle to sell pork in a
mosque. So
mosque.
just to behave in a senatorial
No. I understand your struggle.
It is therefore important that we acknowledge what is in the pipeline.
No. This lie.
There.
This lie of nuclear energy. Kajola, we cannot even manage 3,000 megawatts of electric power. We are here talking about nuclear power. Worldwide, you are the only time you can think of creating a nuclear power is when you can generate at least 10,000 megawatts on your own as a country.
What do you understand by nuclear power plants? Maybe we begin from there, because I want to believe that there is, let me not use that term, but I want to believe that there is a misunderstanding from your end on what a nuclear power plant is. A nuclear power plant is supposed to generate power.
Okay.
Not that your power. It's supposed to generate
and that is what power. I'm talking about.
So
or what power do you think I was talking about?
Phase 1, it should generate at least 1,000 megawatts.
And I'm telling you.
So upon the initiation and the construction of this, if phase 1 is done, we shall be having 1,000 megawatts.
Kajola.
And moving into the future,
you know what is needed.
Where we want to go.
Kajola, you know what is needed to have a nuclear power plant.
So
you understand?
There is something you don't understand here, and that is what I am explaining to you.
Every time you try to explain anything, you make it worse.
I want you to understand, because I've realized there is a laxity somewhere.
No.
Exactly.
No.
So please just be patient to understand.
I'm fairly aware of what we are talking about. So look here.
They talk about education.
I understand your struggle.
Let me just
before we go to education.
You talked about education and the minister and during Ruto's time and all that.
Yes.
And it's you who talked about this. Remember, it is during this time that the education ministry was streamlined. You remember at that time, nearly every building in Nairobi
was a school.
And what were they offering? courses that nobody knew about.
Like
so
what?
It took the minister then for education, who is now the president, to shut down some of, because people are losing money in this third floor mid-level colleges for nothing. He is accredited for streamlining the Ministry of Education. We are talking about a vision. Something we must detach from this issue of a vision is a politician. What we must detach from this vision is political manifestos and agree
has gone elsewhere
and agree.
But in finishing, I wanted to give him time so that
we can all agree as Kenyans that this is the road, the path we are all following. So whether Jagero or Joachim is the president, he knows.
But I'm here at a podcast. Ruto is having all the money. How are we agreeing?
And he has called you. Come.
Where?
Let's have
where am I coming?
Call who?
Where am I coming?
Who is he calling?
Where am I supposed to go?
Even us in the opposition.
No, but I'm asking
you in the opposition. Better place.
Mr. Kachola.
You have divergent opinion.
Mr. Kachola, where exactly am I going to meet the president so that we talk about this issue?
Now, that you see the team that will be set up. Now we have the Nyongo team that is there.
Nyongo.
Wait. We have the Nyongo team that is there that did the report.
Yeah.
Now it is upon now the government to set up a team that will ensure that all Kenyans from all walks of life are incorporated, and then we go out to seek the views of Kenyans.
So we are still seeking views.
How do you make a vision?
Kachola,
what do you make a vision?
So William Ruto's manifesto is now our vision.
What do I tell Nyongo when I meet him?
Whether Nyongo or
yes. What do I tell him?
Assume Joachim.
No, but what do I tell him?
You now tell him
that I want what?
Your vision, if at all you come from a sugar belt region, for example, how do you envision the sugar industry? What do you think is the best way to move forward so that we don't run into trouble with the sugar industry? How do we elevate the sugar industry? How do we elevate the sugar industry
that we have leased?
That is why.
How did we stop it?
In 2008.
Bwana hii maneno ya how do we?
That is the creation of the vision.
Mr. Kachola, the scorecard as of 2008, we had 24 targets. All right, 1 has been delivered, 4 mostly, 10 partial, 9 missed, 6 flagships abandoned. All right, and
can you name them? The ones abandoned.
The ones abandoned.
At least for our viewers.
0 out of 18 years at the promised 10% GDP growth. The average was 4.5 to 5%, roughly half the flagship rate for the whole horizon. All right. Manufacturing as a shared GDP against, so what we have achieved is 7.1% against what we wanted of 15% target. Kenya is industrialized in reverse, finance overtook factories in 2023. All right, we agreed that we are going to build 3 resort cities, 2 in the coast, 1 at Isiolo were promised, none exists.
Jagero,
we are can I take 30 seconds?
Jagero,
we have so far delivered 13,529 affordable houses. Okay, right? But by vision
review that figure.
Vision 20. How many have you guys done?
Review.
How many have you guys done?
I'm feeling that we are missing the point.
Okay.
Let me bring this discussion to sense.
Okay.
The method.
All right.
The method. You should be asking how should you? What is the friend's approach? Already he's saying there's a report from Nyongo team.
Yes.
Which we don't have.
All right.
Isn't it?
Let me share with you, my brother. You are a brother. I'm just sharing right away.
Do you have that report?
I do have the report,
yes. But whom did the president give that report? So they already have a report, isn't it?
Yes.
Now they want to participate in their report, isn't it? Already there's a problem there. Let me just explain these things. There's a method of planning.
Okay.
You understand me? I disagree with this so-called national budgets, national planning, because national planning and national budgets are put as national priorities, but they are political priorities.
Okay.
Let's go to countries which have industrialized and have gone far. Isn't it? Germany. In Germany, budgeting is decentralized to all the regions.
Okay.
So why are you telling Taita Taveta to come to Nairobi to listen to you how you want to do a national budget, and the priority of Taita Taveta has not been brought into this report? What the president could have done, could have to decentralize, if you like, even devolve this process, and then every county comes with their county priorities.
Okay.
Is when someone gathers this report and works. Just like the BBI team, they went to 47 counties. They picked what Kenyans wanted. Is when they generate a report. Already there's a problem with this method. And when I call it incompetence, incompetence has been seen from the beginning. Why do you wake up and lecture Kenyans in a State of the Nation address, telling us about what we don't even understand what you're talking about? According to me, the president should not have been the one to read that speech.
Who should have?
These things should have turned a conversation from the local level. You get me? County levels. We have a devolved system. How are revenues being generated? How are generals being collected? What are the priorities of different counties? What are the struggles of people in Kilifi? What are the struggles of people in Mombasa? What are the struggles of people in Kisumu? Already the president is telling us this, yet he is going everywhere promising what he wants to do. Yet he is saying we need to have a dialogue. He has told the people of Kisumu, he's taking them SGR, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, have they asked people of Kisumu when they want SGR? Jagero, railway reached Kisumu in 1991, isn't it? 1901.
Yes.
Kisumu people are still poor. Now they are being told, they are being given another railway in a new name called SGR. SGR is called Standard Gauge Railway. It is a railway, which is already there. And they are celebrating railways coming. Tumeona railway bwana. I was born when the railway was there. I'm poor when railways are there. And I'm not a professor because of railway. So don't listen to all these things they call big things. And I want to explain to the president what economy works, isn't it? Germany started by industrialization in textile. Simple. Go to a country like Switzerland, they began by industrialization, service offering like financial centers, financial services. We should not begin by giving railway and the road. You know, even housing is our end product. And I'm sorry for my language. Giving someone a house like giving someone a condom. Because a condom is an end-use product, like a house. But we should have, instead of building the railway, we should be talking about mining that can generate iron and steel that can put in a railway. What's a railway? It's iron. It's a steel, isn't it? If Kenyan can go and do mining, the people who are doing mining will get jobs, isn't it? We shall lay steel from Naivasha to Kisumu. The people of Kisumu will gain. But if you give someone a house or a road, it does not help. If you go, for example, to Kilifi and build what they call this plant that produces latex, if you build a plantation of latex for 10,000 acres, the farmers will sell latex, which will convert it to rubber. Then rubber will produce everything, including a condom. But if you give me a condom, I either use or sell. That's all I can do with it. But if you give me latex, I can convert. So if you go to economy like the US, the product that made American become a great economy is sugar cane. Sugar cane. That's why Africans are being taken from Africa to go work in sugarcane plantation in the US. For us, we have sugarcane factories here in Western Kenya, and he's shutting them down, then telling people Western Kenya, let us come and talk. I'm shutting economic engine of yours. Then I tell you, come and talk. How do they afford to fire from Western Kenya to Nairobi to come and talk when you have shut down the economic engine? This is what I call the highest level of incompetence, called gross incompetence. When you hear gross profit, this is gross incompetence.
This is net incompetence. Net incompetence.
That means at least there's a profit. But gross incompetence means even at the gross level.
We are having incompetence. Are we having a condom economy?
Now, Jagero, By the way, I'm saddened
by what?
I'm saddened by Professor's utterances.
He told me to educate, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what I've done.
Okay.
So he's saddened again by...
So you are saddened...
But don't be saddened. This is not an NGO boardroom. We can just continue.
You know why I'm saddened? Because when the good professor says, where is the report? The report is public document. I think the first time, the two of you were lucky to be here. I shared it with you. Please share it with Prof.
Okay.
Two, when he talks about budget and localization in what I can quickly call it, about Tana River, people coming to discuss that, no.
Okay.
We have seen time and a number where the budget committee goes down to the regions, to the counties, to the sub-counties, and have town hall conversations with the people as far as their public participation towards that budget is concerned, and they put in their ideas.
Can I ask you a question?
What happened majorly after the 2024 Gen Z protest, we've had successive budget reading. So during these budget reading processes, before them, we have seen the minister go down there, the CS go down, and even the committee in the House go down to the people, ask them questions, respond, and they pick their ideas, put into this. And that's why you saw this time round, largely, we had one of the most peaceful kind of budget process.
Kenyans just gave up on it.
Two, when he talks about railway, we have a railway that is already old and dilapidated.
You cannot turn yourself into a dictionary on a podcast.
We cannot say that the railway that is there in Kisumu still deserves to be there. People deserve better. That railways was was powered by steam.
No, that's sensational.
For the train to move from Nairobi to that place, it would take a whole day. We know very well that standard gauge railway would be faster, efficient, and the people will enjoy the services. Why would I take 10 hours on the road to Homa Bay, whereas I can easily take 3 hours to Homa Bay, and goods can move faster? That is what it means to railway reaching where?
So
reaching
what goods are they selling?
I want to give you an opportunity to respond properly.
When you talk about mineral and having to mine, getting some minerals to ensure that we have people working in those sites.
Okay.
Maybe the good professor may not know.
Okay.
But let me inform him that in the last close to 1 year, the government has taken the opportunity to do mineral mapping in the country.
Mineral mapping?
Yes. So at least now the government knows what mineral is where in this country.
Okay. I want to give opportunity.
He talks about latex.
Are you going to respond to
it? Why are you hogging the microphone?
He talks about latex.
In 1 minute.
2024.
In 1 minute.
Yes,
in 1 minute, please, so that I can give opportunity.
A paper.
Okay.
Took it to the Ministry of Environment.
Okay.
On rubber.
Okay.
And how we can industrialize through rubber. I am happy to tell you today, Jagero, that more than twice I have sat with officials from the Ministry of Environment, at least to go through this and explain and give examples how it can work best for us. And these are the solutions we need for our country.
So that they can have an allowance.
We don't need people standing on the road and shouting. We need people offering solutions.
Thank you.
So you don't need people standing.
Somebody is saying kutetea ni gavana hadi Kachola. This kind of economy is going to
Kachola has just how do I use the correct English word? Said that standing by the road and shouting is bad. You know, that's bad for your boss. He will feel attacked.
Yeah.
So be careful in how you address the person who pays.
There are so many things that Kachola has talked about.
Kachola has talked about things that we already know.
Okay.
But he's talking about them the same way these other people talks about them.
Okay.
Sitting together and talk, Sejui, what are the views of the people. You see, I told you yesterday, William Ruto went to State House with 47 economic charters from every county.
Okay.
He has them
Thank you. He has them. He must be having them somewhere. You remember that time when that madam was praying and said, Kenya Kwisha?
Okay.
It was an economic charter with the women. It's in that meeting that President Ruto stood before the country and said that we have decided that this country, we will support our women. The government of Kenya will import 10,000 tractors to be distributed across the country so that we stop using jembes and industrialize our agriculture.
And wheelbarrows?
No, at that time he was talking about tractors. It was an economic
in the same with the wheelbarrow icon next to him.
Yeah. So this is a person talking about not using jembes, who is using a logo of a wheelbarrow on his party. I wonder how people were so blinded at the time.
Yeah.
So ndugu yangu anasema maneno ya, for example, he wrote a paper about rubber.
Okay.
Something that we need to start from zero.
Okay.
We have 24,000 nuclear estate on Nzoia Sugar. It has been privatized without valuation. That the people who leased that machine is cutting the sugarcane from the nuclear estate of Nzoia Sugar while milling them at Muhoroni, because that is his private machine. So we gave a private miller who already has a machine to lease our public machine. Therefore, he's not interested in making the machine work. He was interested in the assets, which were not valued. So we had things that were working. They failed on our watch. We are not talking about them. We now want to have a conclave and talk about things that we have not started. Let us first revive these ones. Don't tell us about how we shall live in mansions when we cannot manage rent in shanties. Just like the professor said, it's not really the cost of a product. It's the income of the buyer that is an issue. So you don't come here and say, I will reduce the price of an iPhone. No. Empower the buyers to buy it at that price or even higher. It's an issue of income. Our president's government is doing everything in their power to curtail the bargaining power of their own people by lack of income. So even the basic things are a problem. Sometimes there's a worker who lives in Wetavie but works in Upper Hill. So you arrive in town, you walk to Upper Hill, you walk back, you could be having 200 in your pocket. But you have to choose between paying fare or even buying a soda. It's not that you don't have money, but you have to forego some very basic things. We need to do away with that. And this government has proved time without number that it's not interested in solving the problem. And I understand William Ruto. I am a very pragmatic person. Sometimes I also try to feel his pain and try to understand his struggles. That you have a highly expectant country, people are asking questions about you solving their problem, but you are incapacitated in solving their problem because you know that you can't solve their problem because you are part of that problem, but you are still conning people by telling them that the future of Kenya cannot be left to politicians, as if you are some professor in some university when you are a career politician for the last 35 years. So what are you telling us? That the future of Kenya shall not be written by a few, it will be written by all of us. It sounds like huyu writer wa Nigeria anaitwa nani?
Okunko.
No, the person who wrote Things Fall Apart.
Chinua Achebe.
It sounds like Chinua Achebe writing a novel. You know, such statements are tired. And somebody should tell Emmanuel Talam not to write such speeches. Okay. Because we want deliverables. Kenyans
Emmanuel Talam is the one that is using ChatGPT.
Yes. No one else. It's Talam.
By the way, Jagero.
Let me allow this gentleman to finish, and then I'm coming right back to you.
As I land, but this country.
No, but as you land, I want to ask. I want you to try and imagine, why did Ruto become president in 2022?
Eh?
What was Ruto looking for when he wanted to become president in 2022?
William Ruto
his aspirations as the man, as the son of a poor man that wanted to rise to kileleni our
politics. It had nothing to do with the country. And so most of you who had expectations, I'm sorry. You were expecting things from places they can't come from. It was about him being president. It was not about solving the Kenyan problem. He knows he can't solve it. But he conned the people and told them that by him becoming president, it represents that a son of a peasant can also rise to become something. You remember when Ken Mijungu asked him about his net worth when he was campaigning.
Okay.
And he made it a very a personal attack question. He said, my friend, why do you ask me that question? So Ken Mijungu was thrown into self-defense. It was, you see, when I supported Raila in 2007,
okay,
no one asked me about my net worth.
Okay.
Now that I want to be president, you are asking me about what I have. Are you then saying that I am a son of a peasant who should not become anything? But this is a person who is already a deputy president saying that he cannot become anything because he's a son of a peasant. It was about his self-aggrandizement. It was about his self-aggrandizement.
Okay.
That son of William Ruto, the son of Kamagut.
Okay.
Who went to school bare feet,
okay,
and sold chicken to riches,
okay,
is now the president of the country. The problems of the Kenyan people are nothing, are very far away from him trying to solve that problem. But he has insisted that he is the only person who can solve the problem, and he knows that he can't. Because when you come up with an idea...
But surely he can.
How can he can?
Because when you say he cannot, then what are you saying about his person? I mean, he can. Why would he not be able to?
So for us to conclude that you can do a certain task,
okay,
what are we basing on? Are you curtailed in any way to do what we are charging you to do? Because as a president, what is expected of you? Because when a child dies of hunger, it's on you, right?
Yeah.
So we are expecting that you lead a country in a way that we do not have hunger issues.
Okay.
So as a president who should come and tell us that he has managed the country better, he should be able to tell us, when I come in as president, the poverty level was 53%. This number of people were going without food. Today, as we speak, we have reduced that number by this number. That we can talk. You don't come and tell us about dollar reserves that we don't see. The dollar reserves should be...
He said that we have dollars somewhere?
Was it 15 billion dollar reserves?
Tukunayo?
Yes, alisema hivyo jana.
Tukunayo wapi?
So that's the question we're asking. Okay, Mr. President, if our economy is doing so good that we have 15 billion in terms of dollar reserves, why are we having people struggling to afford a meal in a day? Why are we having parents struggling to pay their school fees? Those are the basic things. And somebody told me that my arguments are pedestrian.
Okay.
I am talking on behalf of millions of pedestrians.
Yes.
If those pedestrians cannot afford a good meal in a day, then what are you saying? Isn't that pedestrian the most important person in the country? When you're looking at the economy of the country, do you look at how the owner of Hemingway's is making sales? No. You look at how is the person in Mukuru Kwanjenga living? The question that was asked and the issue about housing. When you say we have now built 10,000 units of housing, then what's the effect of it?
I said 13,000, Kachola refused.
Yes, so it should be more, right?
By the end of this year, the police will be given 45. Then the entire police unit.
So it's no longer about Mukuru Kwanjenga.
45,000
affordable houses.
So it's no longer
affordable housing units.
So how many police do we have?
We have roughly 150,000.
So 45,000 of them will be given houses.
We'll at least have houses.
So it is the same way like when we say the chiefs will have tablets, right?
No. No.
But he said the chiefs will have tablets.
Thank you for bringing
Why were the chiefs supposed to have tablets? For what?
It's a question only him can answer.
He said?
Yes.
That the chiefs?
Yes.
Wale walikuwa State House?
Yes.
The 15,000 of them?
Yes.
They would come to State House with tablets?
Yes. But they don't have it.
No, what were they supposed to do with tablets, the chiefs?
President Ruto
Why
knows.
should they not have?
Maybe for him to send to send send him messages.
Let's go to Professor.
First of all, let me say the following.
Okay.
Go to Proverbs 15:2.
Okay.
They said that a sweet tongue to a godless man is very dangerous. A sweet tongue to a godless man is dangerous, because they say a wise man uses the tongue to pour out knowledge.
Okay.
But a foolish man uses their tongue to pour out foolishness. But unfortunately, foolish people take the foolishness from their mouth just because they are a head of state to become very meaningful. So don't judge Ruto by the quality of his speech. We should judge him by what he's doing. Then Ruto became president. You ask, how did he become president? By talking well.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But now he discovers that he's not delivering. He thinks he can talk his way out to delivery. It was easier to talk against a regime of Uhuru because he was not the head of state. He has to know that now when you are president, your tongue does not help you. It is your results that works, not your tongue.
Okay.
So they say that when you have a hammer, you think everything is a nail, isn't it?
Yes.
So he thinks that he can talk his way out of murdering people, talking his way out of corruption, talking his way out of incompetence. Talking sometimes doesn't help. As a philosopher, we say falsification evidence is more powerful than confirmatory evidence. What does that mean?
I don't know.
The sun rises from the east to the west. That's what we know.
Yes.
That is confirmatory evidence. And that has happened since the creation of the earth, isn't it? We can even talk about 2 million years or 2,000 years. The day the sun will rise from west to east, no one will ever again say that the sun rises from east to west, because it has falsified what has been taken to a norm.
Okay.
So we are falsifying William Ruto based on his delivery, not based on other promise. And we don't want another promise. We want delivery on that promise. Unless he comes down and kneels down in Kasarani, where he was sworn in, and confesses to the entire nation for having misled us for the last 4 years, then seek for us to forgive him if we can, to get him another term. Isn't it? Or which I don't think that we have that chance. This country cannot be experimented for 10 years. It's too important to do that. The other thing, Jagero, I think there's something you missed here. And I think I want to bring it on. We can spend time talking about William Ruto. But there's another problem here that I feel very bad about. The other day I saw the bishops going to Mudavadi's office before the Messiah's plenary, which took place in Kwea, and I saw Sakaja addressing the youths who are in the plenary, and I felt so hurt. And I think, Jagero, we have lost what is called the moral conscience of the country. And that's why when he tells me, bash me, I still remain the moral conscience of this country. And I want still to be known, even if you say professor or what, me, I don't care. You never gave me professorship. This is something that God gave me. I say want to remain the voice of reason. And I'll continue reasoning, not for anyone to pay me. My reason you can't buy. I will pay a price to remain academically freedom to say what I'm trying to say. The Catholic Church is misled. Instead of going to talk to Mudavadi, bring Sakaja to Catholic University and try to say talk to the government, there's something they need to demand, and I'm asking them to demand this. Because Sakaja has mismanaged Nairobi. Corruption in Nairobi is terrible. Which value can the youth learn from Sakaja? We need people who can pass those values to the youth. And I am just coming from Uzima. I'm a deputy vice chancellor of Uzima.
Uzima University.
Uzima University, yes. The government owes us 4.8 billion shillings in pending bills. The Catholic
at Uzima University.
Only. MK is owed around 7.8 billion. In pending bills. You know,
you are doing service to the government.
Let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
When Ruto came to government, talk about Kazi Maju.
Okay.
So he told these medical institutions to train for him nurses to go to Germany.
Okay.
So they signed an agreement, and then he never paid that money. So it's Uzima University, MK.
Uzima University were training what? What was Uzima University?
They were training nurses to go to Germany. And there was
that story about 250,000 Kenyans going to Germany every year.
It was a scam.
In 10 years, Wakenya wote watakuwa Germany.
Instead of the Catholic Church again reconciling with the government, first of all, pay the pending bills. Because there's no point of somebody who owes you. Hospitals like St. Francis are sitting above the Archdiocese of Nairobi. St. Francis, we are owed billions of shillings. St. Michael's Otiende, you go to Marta Hospital, pay your bills fast. And I'm telling the Catholic Church bishops, tell the president to pay his bill fast before asking for a vote. Because
you've been asking for a vote from the Catholics.
Yes, you can't go to the bank to borrow money if you have not paid the loan you took before. So according to me, someone can call you status and give you 500,000 in an envelope, but he owes you billions of shillings. He's using your money to pay you. Even the money they must have taken to the Messiah plenary, if they did. Going to visit Mudavadi to the office to bring Mudavadi to our Messiah, they could have been called me to address that audience and motivate the young people because I could use the knowledge and virtues, not because they have money, because I'm in power. So I'm urging the entire church, in 2027, please, if you don't have the moral conscience of the country, stay away. Let us deal with Ruto mundu hu mundu. Don't come in the middle.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. Before you ask a question.
Okay.
You see, what we are discussing here makes me very, very worried. Because it tells you the magnitude of the problem we are coming to solve. We are claiming that we are coming to solve. You see, some of us in the opposition, maybe we want these leadership positions because of the razzmatazz it brings, the convoy, the recognition. If I told you in 2022 that William Ruto will have it rough in 2024, would you believe it?
No.
You would say that's bullshit. Kenyans are very unique people. And Kenyans don't join government. They support you and send you to government, then they remain in opposition. They do what? They don't join government. You become very popular, they are like, oh yes, you are the one. They support you, you join the government, then they remain in opposition. The second day, the tweets about you are like, and what is he now doing?
Yeah, where is he?
Yes. Since we saw him in, we are not seeing him. It's no longer about praises anymore.
Yeah.
You can see so many plans are in the shelves, but they have not been actualized. Some of the promises have been made since time immemorial. Promises like, we will cut government spending. Then you have to come up with a way of knowing how much is government spending and how much of it do you want to cut. And it tells me that there is more to be done when we finally take over government after William Ruto is gone. Because I'm telling you, the support we enjoy today is because of the hope we carry for the Kenyan people, representing that what is in place is not what they deserve, and we carry something better for them. That we are promising a better country that offers opportunities to everyone, regardless of where they come from. That people will not be victimized of their opinion like Professor was victimized. So that hope is what making people to support us. When we go into government and start fumbling the way President Ruto is fumbling, at where the first year you are in office, you call a press and you sound the way William Ruto sounded yesterday, the results will be immediate and more dangerous. Because there is one lack President Uhuru had, that the political awareness was growing as his term was going to an end. President Ruto came in when the political awareness, especially among the young people, was now at the peak.
Ahead of him.
Now he cannot pull a con game. The next president is going to face it worse than what President Ruto is going to, worse than President Ruto is going through now. Because people will support him, send him to government, and remain in opposition. And now, when we come on this podcast beyond 2027, let's say September huko, sasa mimi imagine sasa una sweat kama ndugu yangu hapa defending a government you fought so much to get into power. So
don't allege that I'm sweating.
That's why I'm saying
it is not literal.
Yes, that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that the question of whether President Ruto is going or not is not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Okay.
That we have sealed all the loopholes and there is unanimity among the majority of Kenyans that look here, we love you so much, you are a great Kenyan, but thank you for what you have done, please go home and rest.
Okay.
The biggest question is we know what we are voting against. What is it we are voting for?
Okay.
And Professor mentioned that when you are asked what you are going to do, please make sense. The question of what and how.
Okay.
Which I am worried. You see, we are highlighting issues here, and I can just see the depth of the matter that we are going to get into. That the next president will have no luxury of matching his tie with his deputy. The next president will be expected to start folding his sleeves on the first day he's in office.
Yeah, and that is what I want to ask Professor, because Professor says that he's fit for the job. And Professor, apart from you being fit for the job, suppose that you look around and we have Mr. Sifuna, we have former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, we have former Deputy President Gachagua, we have Matiang'i. If it is not you, what do you think about the rest of them? Are you? I suspect that for you to take this thing easily, you should go and speak with them at the United Opposition and then allow them to front you as their candidate. But if they don't, I mean, what would you say if Sifuna were to be fronted? What would you say if Matiang'i were to be fronted and all these other people?
I like what Sifuna said when he was asked whether he's running for president, and he said that Kenyans should decide. I will also say the same thing, but the fact that they know my economic ideology and they have not looked for me also says a lot about them more than myself.
Okay.
Because, Jagero, the Kenyan problem is economic. And the Kenyan problem will not be fixed politically. It will be fixed economically.
Yes,
Have they looked for any well-decorated economist that even they talk to? Because I'm seeing a politician going to meet a politician to gang politically against the Kenyans. That's what I'm seeing so far. So the day I'll see the likes of Sifuna trying to acknowledge, because even Ruto gave it to him, he pretended to bring David D, who already been known as an economic person next to him, to pretend that he is going to solve the economic problem.
Okay.
Joe Biden, when he was talking against COVID, he brought Dr. Fauci to stand next to him to look like he can solve COVID problem. Trump stood next to another medical doctor, I'm forgetting his name, to look like he understands medicine. You cannot stand next to you can call it a plumber when you should be talking about delivering a baby. You should stand next to a midwife. So the misnomer, what is missing in Linda Jamii, what is missing in the entire opposition at the moment is an economic foundation, having someone who is grounded economically to do. And Jagero, it's not that I'm making it up. Fred Ogola sitting here yesterday received a doctorate of philosophy nominated by Commonwealth in Glasgow. I didn't attend because I was having some engagement, for my economic contribution to sorting up the Southern Europe, which was pigs, Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. If Commonwealth nominates me as the most decorated economist of that time, and Kenya needs a turnaround, if I could help turn around Greece, Portugal, Italy, and Spain, what about this economy I understand by where I was born, and I know? So I am not saying that I must be the president. I'm not saying Sifuna is better. But we need a Formula 1 to take Ruto home. Then secondly, a formula that will solve the Kenyan economic problem immediately. Because let me tell you what, Jagero, the person who is dying of hunger today, Jagero, they are dying today, they will be buried tomorrow, isn't it? They are not going to wait for the economic charter for William Ruto being launched on 12th. The person dying of cold, if you go now, we are in the CBD, go here. There are street boys, people who have homeless here. Are they waiting for economic charter to be written by a team of professors, or they can be housed today?
I want to.
A child who can go to school will not wait for whether we have a good president, or what they want is can they go to school? Healthcare, the same thing. So I'm saying, in as much as we are concerned about Ruto must go, because I'd said, must go, has to go, is going, and is gone. In Jesus' name, must go, amen, thank you. That's my statement, and I won't change that statement. What I'm saying must go is corruption must go, and the owner of corruption is him. You know, when you want to destroy a snake, you kill a snake and you destroy the eggs. So how can a snake now tell us how they want to create a kingdom of holiness, and in the Bible the snake is a symbol of evil? So the snake plus all the eggs he has given birth to, must go. You get me? The corruption he has created, giving you 3.7 trillion.
Remember Gachagua said that, and they said that they wanted to kill Ruto and his children.
No, the issue is not here. The eggs, I mean here, the eggs are what his government has given birth to. No one should be killed. In fact, one real Ruto will be very healthy to watch us running a government with decorum. In fact, we want him to go back and testify and apologize to the whole nation. Kumbe sikujua sivyo. That's what we want him to say.
We want to be welcoming him in this fora.
Yeah, so the point I'm trying to draw here
to come and see things.
Jagero, I told you still a bullet. The Kenyan economic problem are four.
Okay.
One, debt.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Okay, and I want to ask you about debt.
Yeah.
Have you heard this if Safina Party talk about debt? Do you agree, Ama, they're economic goons?
First of all,
yeah,
I hear them talk about debt.
Okay.
But what they have to acknowledge is who filed a petition in court seeking for debt review in Kenya. I have done.
Okay.
Talking is one thing, doing is another.
All right.
I was even telling his party leader, Jim Wanjigi, to come together with me to support this petition in court. Did they come to support? Talking is one thing, doing is another. I went to court challenging the Safaricom sale. I was in court. I challenged the finance bill, the house levy. I used my money, my time to go to court. I want them to do something about it.
They want to do it when they get to government.
No. They, like, for example, why people will criticize Sifuna. Sifuna has been a senator for 5 years now, isn't it? The county government is having problem with corruption, isn't it? Has he taken a bill to court, or he's waiting to become president first? You know a tree by the action, by the fruits, not just a tree. And I will continue telling my own colleagues in opposition the truth, because I've told you voice of reason. I have to tell them. Because it's not about how friendly we are to them. It's how much we gang together to solve the Kenyan problem. So let me repeat here by saying the Kenyan problem are four.
Okay.
Debt.
Okay.
2, inflation. 3, unemployment, isn't it? And then 4, we have the challenges of producing. The silver bullet to all those ones is one: create 100,000 jobs per county, translates to 4.7 million jobs nationally. You'll have brought what's called 4.7 million taxpayers to the tax bracket. For that moment, you don't have to borrow more money. You get me?
But how do you create the 100,000 jobs? I mean, I'm looking at Isiolo. I mean, how do you do that?
It's very simple, my brother. Even Isiolo is the easiest. They have 50,000 acres of land lying idle, isn't it? If you even employ 2 people per acre, 50,000, that's 100,000. Simple. We have a formula. I can spend time discussing, but I'm telling you we have a prototype. And I told you, the most developed nations began with primary production, secondary production, and tertiary. You don't begin by saying, like now, if you go to Kisumu, the people of Kisumu have 50 acres of land lying somewhere, and the people of Kisumu are being killed by water. What Israel is harvesting by all machine is killing people in Kisumu. And yet youth in Kisumu and Kondele are jobless. The factors of production are 3.
Kachola, are you listening?
Water.
Or you're burying yourself in the sand?
You hear me? Water, land, and labor, isn't it? In Kondele, people are being called goons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yet I hate the word goons. Jagero, when your mother gave birth to you, did they have a pregnancy called a pregnant of goons?
No.
But now the country converts you to a goon. So akuna mimba ya goon.
It is the country that is converting them to goons.
Yes, because goons has become a better economy than job. They are creating more goon economy than job.
It's a condom and goon economy.
Yes, because now you see, Ruto has his goons. I heard him the other day saying it's the end of goons, isn't it?
He said he's the head of goons.
He has more goons than all of us.
He said?
Yeah, because the goons that beat Gen Z, whose goons were they? So I'm as an economist, in God we trust, the rest bring data, isn't it?
All right. In God we trust, the rest?
God bring data.
Bring data.
Evidence. So I give you evidence.
Yeah.
Which goons?
You know, Kachola's pad is full. He's writing.
I'm just simply saying.
Okay.
Who beat the Gen Z with the goons in town? Because the goons came, the Gen Zs came to protest against the president, isn't it? And who demystified and paralyzed them? It is these goons. So, what I'm trying to say in short, that the Kenyan problem with a single bullet is job creation. When the biggest infrastructure to build is people at work. That's why the Bible is clear. If you don't work, you can't eat. So when you're creating political rallies where people are being paid like he was paying in Okalau, isn't it? Those people could have been talking about how they can get a job, not how they can go to a rally and be paid and create chaos. And I'm trying to say that even the government that is coming should focus on job creation, because when you create jobs, you lower inflation because there'll be more production, which supply overcome demands. Inflation is gone. You bring taxpayers to the bracket, you don't have to borrow more money. The other thing I talk about employment, you have employed 4.7 million people. There'll be no issues. That's why I agree.
These things appear so easy when you see them.
It's easy because these have been done.
Okay.
Again, I'm not talking about theory. During the global meltdown, Fred Ogola was sent to these 3-4 countries. And he came with economic solution for it, isn't it?
Will I be able to have some of these reports on my SMS?
Yes.
So that I can have a look at them.
You have all the evidence and you can access them even from the European Central Bank website.
Okay.
Because this is work I did. Because Jagero, people say, Professor. Do you know Jagero? Let me brag a little bit. Do you know Jagero that I went to the 4th best business school in the world to do my PhD?
What is that?
ESADE Business School in Barcelona, Spain. Some people, insult me like he's insulting me here. Kachola, in ESADE, mark my word, if we apply, there is 97% rejection rate. Meaning that 97% of people who apply do not get admission.
Yes.
And I got admitted. You get me? I did a master there, I did a PhD there. I have people here who cannot even get admitted in ZTEC. Some of them cannot even get admission letter from ZTEC to do PhD or masters. But they're insulting, professor.
Yes.
So when you call that word, don't know it's just a professor like Okaloka. It's not just a professor, professor. No, this is professor. And with a decorated thing.
Now, my
brother.
So
when I'm talking about the issue of economic turnaround, we're not talking about many theories. Do you know what I'm talking about? One silver bullet. Do you know that if an animal wakes up in the morning with 10 ways to eat, it might sleep hungry. But if we wake up with one idea, how you are going to eat, you'll eat. Just like, for example, when you're in university, on Friday, every boy wants to have a girl in the evening, isn't it? So by Friday, if you are still having 10 candidates, you should start by Tuesday. Wednesday, you are zeroing into 2 or 3.
Elimination method.
You pick one and focus on that one you'll get. But if you're having 10, uko happy, mpango yako kuna namna gani, you'll end up missing it. And that's why I'm telling Joachim, Kenya Kwanza government has too many ideas. And by too many ideas, they can't do it. Kachola, go tell President William Ruto, free advice from Professor Fred Ogola. There's a book called The One Thing. Let him choose at least and do one thing. Because since he became president, he has not done anything right, just one. Tell me one thing he has done right.
Yes.
One thing is important.
Yes.
Like, for example, you can have a wife at home. You miss in everything, but you get it one. Maybe it can be in the sitting room.
Yes.
It can be in the kitchen. It can be in the car. It can be in the bedroom, whatever. Choose where you are going to score 100%.
Yes.
Here,
the
Kenya
one
Kwanza,
thing you've done right.
Kenya Kwanza have scored nothing on everything, but they have too many ideas. That's the problem.
No, before you come in, because I don't want to interject you when you are exhausting the notes on your notepad.
Continue.
With me, my thoughts are like, the biggest problem we have, and if we don't solve it, nothing else works, is a problem of debt. The other day, Nyakango said 71% of our revenue is going to debt payment. So how much do you remain with? 29%. So how do you use the 29% of revenue given to you by Kenyans to establish the kind of lifestyle they are looking up to you to offer? Because let's say, for example, in a financial year, you've collected 3 trillion, to be very generous. But 71% of it is not going to be used for the benefit of the people here. So you're left with the 29%. So how do you subdivide it? How do you start by paying salaries? Do you start by making sure that operations and maintenance is taken care of? Which sector do you invest in first? So it's a question of revenue. And any serious candidate must therefore think of how do we make sure that the question of debt is taken care of. We can argue about how we are going to deal with it. That's okay. But the consensus must be our question of solving debt is what? That's the biggest problem for President William Ruto. President William Ruto is suffering because he didn't know that the problem he was creating back then will come to eat him today. And it's a problem of debt. This problem of debt, people have told us that we are singing one song every day. No, it's the only question that is putting us in a bottomless abyss. That when you promise Kenyans that you are going to build a road from Kotulo to Isiolo, like I said yesterday, it has a financial implication. You therefore have to allocate money to that project for it to take off. When you say that we are going to revamp our agricultural sector, it means you need people to be on ground, boots on ground. It has a financial implication. Every sector of government is suffering dryness of funds. Where are the funds? They are going to payment of debt. Therefore, if we have to make any meaningful promise, because when you say you will bring free education, for example, that Kenyans must therefore access free education, Kenyans will ask you a question of how do you therefore do it? Education is a costly program. How much is costed?
Joachim, you know why I don't like your thinking?
Can I come in?
I've just told you, and Jagero was not listening to me, and I want to make it very clear.
Yes.
Someone who has not done one thing right, but he has 100 ideas. Do you trust that person?
No.
Jagera was given an example. There's an animal that when they wake up in the morning, they have one idea how they are going to eat, and they eat. But there's an animal that wakes up in the morning with 10 ideas to eat, and they end up not sleeping. And I analyzed when I was in high school, university, when you let's say boys on Friday, Saturday, you want to spend some time with some Amina or Abdallah, isn't it? So if by Wednesday you're still having 10 women in your list, you might end up with none.
Yes.
So from Monday, you start zeroing to 1 or 2.
Okay.
Then on Thursday, you should be chasing 1.
Yes.
But Kenya Kwanza is chasing everything. And you are chasing in all fronts. And you are incompetent at the same time. It doesn't happen. And in fact, I'm telling them, the president needs to read a book called The One Thing. Jagero, that book you need to go and read. The One Thing. Do one thing so that you can try the other one. And now you are looking for second term. When I was a young boy, I used to...
They should not.
Yes, when I was a young boy, I'm the 6th born, so I had other siblings younger than me. When my mother would give my younger sisters the left breast to suckle, when they suckle well, they got the second one. But if they suckle poorly, my mother used to cover everything and go away. So I'm simply telling him, suckle this time well.
Yes.
Mpaka tuone umemaliza hiyo maziwa uliweka hapo. Sivyo?
Yes.
Hii plan ulisema. Yani suckle mpaka tuone maziwa yameisha on the left, tupatie right. Hapa huku hata hujapata ile hujapata the tundu ya matiti, sivyo? Na huku tena unatafuta ingine. Hautapata.
No. I appreciate your contribution.
Do you agree, Mr. Kajala, that you guys need to do better? Do you agree?
I appreciate their contribution, however much I don't agree with them. But It's the opinion.
You don't agree?
I respect it.
Okay.
They've all said Kenya has many problems. Joachim talks about debt. The good professor talks about the one thing. But I think Kenya has a fundamental problem that if we don't deal with and deal with well, we run the risk of rocking chair. You know the rocking chair? We run that risk, and this problem is character. Our character as a people in this nation is one that is very questionable.
Explain.
This is why. We want better. We want good. And when you are told, for you to get better, for you to get good, you have to endure A, B, C, D. Again, that becomes a problem. We want good transport system. But when the government says, well, let us construct one from CBD through Nyayo to where? To Raila Odinga International Stadium, we run to court and say, no, we don't want this. And the court says it is unconstitutional. We always want, but now the process of getting it has always been the biggest question. How do we get there? Jagero, we must all agree, or should we therefore ask ourselves that do we need a vision? We've said here time and number that yes, we do. That because that vision gives us a common and shared destiny. How do we get there? We know that, I know people will pick this in the most negative way.
Okay.
But let me say it anyhow. We look at developed world. We look at the developed democracies today. How did they develop? He was very right when he said that sugarcane developed other nation. Sugarcane or sugar. That is true. But the very sugar brought down other nations. The sugar that built industries in Europe, in America, brought down Haiti. Sugarcane or sugar, Haiti as a nation through revolutions. And that was the end of Haiti for a very long time. It brought mayhem. It caused deaths. However, it gave them freedom at last.
Jagero, let me correct. I said primary production, and sugar was an example. And I gave the example of Germany in textile. Now he picks only in sugar. I also want to remind him
let me continue.
That the sugar in the sugar belt in Western Kenya is mismanaged because just a minute,
Professor.
The mic is still yours. The mic is still yours.
Why do you want to behave like a boardroom in an NGO?
We in Kenya crush 14 tons of sugar cane, produce 1 ton of sugar, while Brazil and China crushes 6 tons of sugar cane to produce 1 ton of sugar. And that inefficiency is because of corruption.
Go ahead,
now
sir.
You can go ahead.
Now,
wacha kumwaga maji baridi kwa vitu ya huyu jamaa.
Developed democracies.
Bwana uongezee mshahara. Hii kazi ni ngumu.
Hii kazi ya serikali. Wacha jaribu. Kila kazi ni ngumu. Kila kazi ni ngumu.
Shamba la mali. Him, he's actually party secretary general of a certain party.
Yes.
But he's walking here like Mwanda without even a car.
Hakuna TX. Hujaona black? Iko pale chini.
No, mwambie anionyeshe mahali tuliwahi kutana na mimi kwa mguu.
Yes.
Hakuna.
So, Jagero, we have to change our character. We have to ask ourselves, what character do we need as a people, as a nation? What character can identify us as a people? Because when you listen to my good brothers here, either it is deficiency of information or sheer and deliberate misinformation that they want to give out. In many instances they have spoken. it is not even a lack of information. It is deliberate misinformation.
No.
So when we talk about, when Joachim talks about 47 economic charters, what have we seen in the counties, for example, in terms of the aggregation, counties aggregation, economic zones? They are already taking off. They are already, constructions are ongoing.
Markets.
Aggregation parks, not markets. Those are different things.
Okay.
So we need to be very factual, and that is the character I'm talking about.
Okay.
And then what character must we infuse in our vision as a country? Because in that vision, we must also infuse character that will even form part and parcel of our politics moving forward. So that, Jagero, we will know when you come and tell us in a political rally that I am going to do A, B, C, D, and in our vision as a country, we agreed that we are not going this particular direction and you want to take us there, we can definitely know that Jagero is going to mislead us.
Let me also
and
interject
therefore,
just a
in
bit.
that particular
just
point,
a minute, I'll be
we will therefore know for sure that this is not an election.
People are already calling.
Kachola,
Can you put up the nini?
Let me tell you one. You are accusing Kenyans of not having character. We've had this before. When we were talking about JKIA, the president says Kenyans are possessed by demons, isn't it? And also he told us, no, he told us we are possessed by demons. We are opposing everything. That's what we are simply saying here. And also he told us that we are unpatriotic citizens. Yeah. And now he's telling us, come we talk. So he wants to talk to demons. People possessed by demons to help inform the charter.
Intentional
At the same time,
misinformation.
No, these are facts. They are there.
Here it is. Intentional.
Would you call people obsessed by demons to craft a charter with you?
No.
And would you call people who are non-patriotic because they oppose the JKIA sale to come and talk with you?
Anarchists.
Let him go home, man. Must go. Has to go. Jesus' name must go.
Allow me finish.
Yes, finish, because people are already calling. So
when Joachim talked about the 250,000 jobs in Germany, it is again sheer lack of information.
Okay.
When the then German Chancellor came to Kenya, there were negotiations about jobs in in Germany. It's called the migration.
Yeah, just hold there. We are getting to you in 1 minute, sir.
So we know that these particular jobs were open for any country that could provide people who had requisite qualification. As we speak, Jagero, young Kenyans are getting opportunities in Germany. What is the number one qualification? At least basic German language.
All right.
If you go to many TVETs around this country, they are now beginning to teach German language because they want to take advantage of those opportunities.
All right.
With the goal of 250
fair enough. Hello?
Hello? Have gone.
Are we on? I can't hear the person.
I can hear you, Jagero.
Yes, very well. Thank you very much for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Jagero, this is Odhiambo from Kakamega. Say hi to Prof and Joachim.
Yeah, very good. We have said hi to them. The volume is a bit down. I don't know whether you can increase a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Sasa mmepunguza pale.
Nashangaa.
But it was just good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes, we can hear you.
Oh, Joachim, good evening.
Good evening, Ndugu.
Professor, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
The government apologies. Good evening. Wewe jamaa ongeze mshahara kweli. Kutetea serikali ni ngumu. Hata Oparanya alisema kutetea serikali ni ngumu.
Yes.
Aongeze mshahara.
Aongeze mshahara. Let me tell you, Jagero.
Yes.
That guy wanted figures. Let me give him some figures. Let me tell him the scandals and the amount that has been lost under Ruto's government.
Okay.
We've lost 104.8 billion in digital healthcare procurement transition ya SHA. Which is not working, which has turned into a registration bureau in this government. We've lost, under the same social authority, we've lost 44 billion linked to fraudulent claims alongside the digital transformation. We've lost 3.7 billion KEMSA via mosquito net as scandal under government Ruto. We've lost 6.6 billion under the Kenya National Trading Corporation.
Hey.
We've lost 3.5 billion fake fertilizer program. Then we have the systematic payroll, fake payment of workers that do not exist, including the recent one in Kenya prison. So when that guy is talking, I don't know what he's talking about. Imagine working with somebody who is your boss and is abducting your son. Very tragic. Very, very tragic. If there is one thing that will make people vote Ruto to go home, is June 24th. Nobody will allow. You're building stadiums for who? Who are you building the roads for? You're building the roads for people. The government, you only run the government for the people. But when you're killing the same people, you're killing their children, who do you run this government for? We will vote Ruto out because Ruto is killing us. Imagine there is a parent today from June 24th. They have never seen their kid. They don't know whether the kid is alive or whether the kid is dead. People in court calling the IG to come and tell them where their kids are. They were picked by land cruisers, by police officers, and up to today, the government cannot account for where these kids are.
All right, thank you, brother. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, how are you, sir? What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm good, man. I'm Ravi. I'm calling from the US.
You're calling from?
And I feel like this is very important for me to say, minimum contingent, right?
All right.
But we are in a phase where we need to wake up, you know? Like we have been sick for a long time.
All right.
And my only concern is for two people, right?
All right.
That's what we need. The first person is your man, he's a long honesty comedian. You know, these guys go to a live television and when I meet Kwamba Walibaidiwa, you know, and then it's very hard for me to even hear that. I'm going to buy you.
Okay.
You know, and I don't feel like we should just listen to those things and accept them. At some point we have to say Kwamba hata kama serikali ni, I don't know, sijui kanafia yetu, but it cannot work like that. Right. We have to have the rule of law. Because up to this point, right now, personally, I don't believe kwamba hii kashawa kanitolewa kwa njia safi, you know? So we have to be able to wake up and just see that we have to have the rule of law before all this other bullshit.
All right, thank you. Hello?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, how are you doing? What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Dubai.
All right.
First of all, I say that I really appreciate what Professor said.
Okay, what specifically?
About expanding tax bracket.
All right.
You see, for this regime, the expansion of tax bracket is taxing more the people they are taxing. But you see, Professor has explained it very well that you create more chances for jobs and then you add more people in the taxpayer bracket. That's how you extend the bracket. But in this regime, they don't understand that totally. And they have shown that by example. So the other thing I wanted to talk is about is I'm very surprised with Linda Mwananchi.
Okay.
Seeing Orengo going for Aisha Jumwa. And I'm asking myself, what is the difference between Aisha Jumwa and Sakaja? Because these are the people who have questionable degrees. Can you imagine someone having a master before he have an undergraduate degree? And she couldn't explain that one. That she had a master before she got her undergraduate.
They said that Ruto has to go home. Whether the Ruto has to go home, the end justifies the means.
In German we say with kidney or kidney,
yes,
he will have to go home.
Kidney or kidney.
Yeah, because you see, like, exactly, because you see now, he has shown that his economy is the Gunism economy.
I don't know what's going on. They are saying that the audio is very bad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, the people on the internet are saying that the sound is bad from the call. No, there is nothing here. This one is full.
I have seen Opio and I has commissioned a transformer in Butere.
Can you try again?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So what I was saying that the Ruto economy, they have shown that the economy is on Gunism.
Anything. It is now good, Jagero. They are saying it's now good. Let us know if
the Ruto economy. Yeah, is that the Ruto economy is all about the Gunism and tokenism.
Yes.
In fact, now we have learned how to count millions in Luo.
Yeah, we can hear.
We can say million abiro.
I don't know whether you are listening to us at the same time calling.
No. I'm listening on the phone and I'm calling with the same phone. So I'm not in the. I understand that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that Ruto regime has shown us that it's all about tokenism. To a point now that we are able to count. We can be able to count in Luo.
All right.
We know million Achiel, million Abiro.
Yes.
You get my point.
Yes.
And that is all about this regime. So for us, I don't think we have any progress. For me, I think he must go. He should go.
Jagero, someone in Dubai
yes.
is telling you that there is no progress. Someone in the US, sometimes I listen to callers. I would rather listen to someone calling you from Kanyadiang village, from Kanyarombo.
Hello.
Yes.
Do we have progress in Washington?
Kenyans, no matter where you are, they are
No. Let me ask you.
They do not understand.
Let me ask you. Do we have progress in Washington?
No. Kachola, please recount those words because you live in the US, you are where brothers and sisters suffering here. You have your mother, your grandmother eating sand here.
How did you know about Haiti?
Kenyans,
you don't live in Haiti.
Wherever they are, Jagero, a Kenyan
how did you know sugar cane Haiti caused the problem?
And you cannot hold me because I'm in the US.
Jagero,
these politics are the politics of Kenya.
Yeah.
No, you are attacking.
Can we allow this gentleman to say hello? Hello? Hello?
Kachola, that one you got to.
Yes.
Hey, Kachola bwana. Kachola mbona wanja there is a call on the line. Hello?
Good evening, Jagero and your team.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. My name is Samuel and I'm calling you from Nairobi.
Okay.
I just wanted to not tell something.
We can hear you, brother. There's a problem. Kachola, there is something you want to say.
We are nice here, affordable housing.
Caller, I think it was either from Bungoma or Busia.
Yes, we are finishing in a few.
He was calling from either Bungoma or Busia. The first caller alleged so many billions have been lost. Jagero, we cannot live world. You can't say 104 billion is lost, and then these things, there are no facts about them. They are simply allegations.
So no money has been lost?
Who alleges must prove.
No, can you prove how we have not lost money? Because you are also alleging that we have not lost money.
Ask differently.
Where
is the Kenyan money going?
We have the issue of police
brutality and
killings. And brutality. We have laws and regulations. And
that the police are following.
Always allow the law to take its course.
Okay.
It might be late, It might delay, but surely,
Kachola.
if you are responsible for excesses,
yeah, Kachola, I want you, as you speak, let us give our last remarks because time is gone. So your last remarks, and then I go to Professor, and then I go to Joachim, and we can finish.
No, let them begin. Yes. I'll finish.
No.
Yeah, because there are two people. I have to finish. Yeah, so let
okay, Fred, go.
Fellow Kenyans, I maintain that the Kenyan problem is economic, it's not political, and we cannot trust a plumber to deliver the Kenyan dream. And the Kenyan problem remains economic. So we need an economist. Even if Linda Mwananchi, Linda Ground, the person who leads to Kenya needs to actually factor in economy. And I want to tell my brother Safuna, you can't go on TV and say you don't know economics, because even there's economy of law. There's economy of salvation. There's economy of everything. You can't say you don't know economy. And I believe that is the weak link in the opposition, and I'll keep them accountable, and I'll remain the voice of reason. The second thing I want to say is that it doesn't matter what Ruto wants to do, all he thinks he can do, all he thinks he can do. What he has done is enough by the murdering, the killing, the disappearing, and the corruption he has done is enough. There's no waiting for what he could do. Even if he builds the road here to Timbuktu, we don't care, because the people who have died, I was on the street. I saw my eyes. We've gone to the street, we've been arrested, we've been beaten, we have roughed up. The money has collected from people in terms of the so-called paying bills and bonds, police bonds, is too much. Let him just go home. And I'll tell Kenyans, let no one send you on TV here that you're defending them. Because I'm telling you, tomorrow that person is not in office. Where will you stand? And I want to ask you to stand on the right side of history by ensuring that the best for this country happens. When you want to plant seeds in a plantation, unaanza kwa kutoa visiki. Tutoe visiki, na hizi visiki ni visiki vya Kenya Kwanza, led by one William Samoei Ruto. And tell the president, don't threaten people, don't talk about IBC and election. By this time, you should actually be trying to write your concessional speech, because that's the only thing you can give. The best gift you can give Kenyans is not a national development economic charter. Is to write your concessional speech. And I end by giving an anecdote. There was a time when the president of Spain was flying on top of Catalonia. And then he asked his pilot, if I throw this 1,000 euro note, will the people of Catalonia celebrate? And then the pilot told him, no. If you throw yourself down, then they'll celebrate, because you are their problem. So our problem...
The pilot was fired.
Yes, the pilot was not fired, but eventually the guy, Franco, who was the dictator, actually fell down somewhere and died, and Spain was liberated. And I want to tell William Ruto, you might be threatening opposition, but God also has his own ways. God bless you, God bless Kenya.
Thank you very much. Mr. Joachim?
You know, I have spoken a lot on this podcast. I wonder what else to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Kachola?
But I must remind Kenyans that I want to be senator for Nairobi.
Yeah.
They should consider voting for me, because I have the capability of discharging those duties. And also, my party leader is a presidential candidate. So, who is going to be the Lee Kuan Yew of Kenya? Thank you very much.
All right. Mr. Kachola?
Well, we all know where we are as a country, and for sure we know where we need to go. I dare say that for quite some time, decades, Kenya has had great plans, and every election cycle, we talk of great plans. But great nations aren't built on just plans alone. Great nations are built on compelling visions. Visions that are people-driven. The president has called us to the table that we have to discuss our issues moving forward as far as our vision as a country is concerned, our desired future. Let us all troop to that table and have a conversation about our desired future. So therefore, fellow Kenyans, I beseech you that even as you listen to the bickering political arguments left, right, and center, let us stay focused. Let us not miss the elephant in the room because of the dazzling squirrel. Let us have focus, our focus beyond 2030. That vision should be the eyeball. Thank you.
All right. People of the internet, thank you very much. I want to thank you, Mr. Fred, for coming. I thank you, Mr. Controller. It was a tough bench, but you've held fort for...
At least today, the bench is balanced.
The bench is balanced?
Yeah, yesterday it wasn't.
Okay. But he has told Kenyans not to miss the elephant in the room. We know who the elephant is.
Yeah.
We will not miss.
The elephant in the room.
We will
is
not
the
miss that
political
elephant.
noise.
Don't worry about the elephant, you can't miss it.
The elephant in the room is...
will not miss it.
The elephant in the room is the political noise.
All right.
Yes.
It's corruption and incompetence.
I want to thank John Tess on the camera, and I want to thank Frank, who has been on the deck. Thank you very much, people of the internet. You're the star of the show. Come around this bonfire to have a conversation about the future of our country. So thank you very much. Please consider subscribing. If you're not subscribed, follow us on our social political headache. And until another episode, bye for now.
Thank you.
Hello?
Thank you.
All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. Everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things, build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke.